Faye sent me some pictures the other day. I saw her in the boxing match. It's her and Goldie and a bunch of them.
Well, she told me that.
For regular session, roll call please.
District 1, James F. Davis.
Here.
District 2, Blaine Wibidow.
Here.
District 3, Dino Abear.
Here.
District 4, Becky Atkinson.
Here.
District 5, Steve Jones.
Here.
District 6, Ivan Shore. Here. District 7, James Higginbotham.
Here.
District 8, Wilton Seymour.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask Ms. James Etta Davis to lead us in the prayer and Ms. Elsie Boutin to lead us in the pledge, please.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for your mercy and grace. Heavenly Father, touch our children as we start a new school year. Our students, our teachers, our faculty, our entire Acadia Parish family. And as we go through this agenda, I pray that we go through it decent and in order. And if for some reason we have to disagree, that we don't come disagreeable. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. James Etta. Thank you, Ms. Elsie. Elise, I'm so sorry. Thank you. All right. Item 1.5, recognition of Well Ahead Healthy Schools, Church Point Elementary, Estherwood Elementary, and Midland High School.
Over the past few years, what is made available by the Department of Health in Louisiana, Louisiana Department of Health, is a program called Well Ahead. And the Well Ahead program brings resources and support in creating healthy communities. And these schools have created wellness teams on their campus. They've assess their campus with benchmarks to see what kinds of things they're doing to help promote wellness among their staff, their students, and their school family, which reaches out to everyone in their community that their children live in. So doing this, there's a group, a consortium group throughout Acadia Parish that's called the Acadia Healthy Alliance. And this alliance works to support programs that choose to be a Well Ahead program. And in doing that, what these schools have accomplished in creating these wellness teams and making these plans and looking at how they can promote health and wellness in their schools, they're being awarded $200 to put forth in whatever way they would like to do in initiating some things that they need on their campus to promote that. So at this time, I'd like to call up those individuals, Crystal Benoit from Estherwood, and Jamie Veed from Church Point Elementary, and I don't think our friend from Midland High School is here, but
Congratulations, guys. Item 1.6, recognize our 2025 Louisiana Teacher of the Year. So, Ms. Elise Boutin is a publications and senior English teacher at Rain High School in Acadia Parish. She earned a bachelor's degree from UL Lafayette, a master's of art in teaching from McNeese University, and is currently working on a graduate certificate in professionalism writing. After 14 years of teaching, Bhutan believes that connecting curriculum to experience is the most important aspect of teaching students to become lifelong learners. During her time at Rain High School, Bhutan has received the Rain Alive program, a student-produced YouTube channel. Through this program, students work with reporters and camera crews from several Lafayette news stations. Some have even met celebrities and had them create introductions for episodes. The program has built a culture on campus and helps students to recognize the opportunities that exist on campus and in the area. Bhutan also started a senior project fair for students to feature their capstone projects in the areas of academics, career, and community service, and where community members and business owners are able to walk through the fair and meet students. In addition, she connects with high school students to community activities through sponsoring the Interact Club, which works in conjunction with Rain Rotary Club. Bhutan also started a cross-country team this past year. Runners participated in the meets and 5Ks and were welcomed by the local running community. Students leave her classroom prepared for the next step and ready to be a liver in a lesson that reminds you to do what is right for yourself, even if no one else gets it. So I think I want to say, Miss Elise, you're the first teacher to ever win this award from Acadia Parish. And this board and these people in this room cannot say thank you enough and congratulations. We surely appreciate it. You're welcome to come to the podium.
We have a check for it, but I guess I'll lie. 49.50.
Get her, come right here. Y'all come right here.
Dilo. We just stand.
Just y'all. And then we'll get everybody.
Okay.
Okay. Elise, you have anything, any words of wisdom you'd like to speak? It's up to you. You don't have to.
Just that I'm really honored to be able to represent our parish. I really hope to shed some light on some positive things that are going on in our area and give a voice to rural schools and parishes that a lot of times get overlooked by bigger districts that have more funding than we do or more people. And so I really just hope to inspire our little area to keep doing great things. We have a lot of good things going on here. So that's all.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again.
I think Elise failed to mention that she will also be doing the paperwork and all her documentation to try to attain this same goal at the national level.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Before moving on to action items, we have a president privileged speaker. We have Mr. Ortego here with Star Services, if you don't mind. Ray, come on up. Everybody has a packet
2 minutes.
that he brought.
I'll be quick. So I'm gonna be real quick. I know y'all had me on, and superintendent, and board president, and board members, I appreciate y'all giving me the time. So in a nutshell, we're a mechanical contractor. We take care of HVAC systems in schools. We're currently in St. Landry, Lafayette, and Acadia Parish. We have 70 public schools in Acadia right now we service. So a sky level view is we maintain equipment so it doesn't fail. And if it does fail, we repair it on iodine. I'll say that again, we repair it on iodine. It doesn't cost the school board any additional funds. It's a budget, it's a fixed cost contract, we call it guaranteed lifetime protection contract. So everything is covered. Everything from the equipment side is covered. To get to that point, I'll back up a little bit. Let me tell you a little bit more about ourselves. So Star Service, we are the largest service mechanical contractor on the Gulf Coast. We have offices from Lake Charles, Acadiana, our offices in Lafayette, and then in Baton Rouge. Company-wide, we have 180 public schools and about 50 private schools that we take care of. We have plus 150 technicians that are out in the field working. You know, our office is strategically placed 2 hours apart where we share resources so we can share manpower when things get hectic and you have a lot of problems. So Lake Charles can come here, we can go there, Baton Rouge can come here. So we're placed really well where we can help each other that way, and we do often. So in our program, everything is fixed. So if a compressor goes out, we cover it. Chiller goes out, we cover that. So 6 months into the Lafayette Parish contract, we lost a chiller. $300,000 investment. We showed up with the crane. It was turnkey. Parents didn't have to worry about anything. We have our own engineers. I'm an engineer. We got 2 in Baton Rouge. So we design it all. We implement it. No need for additional resources. We handle everything turnkey, including controls. We have a controls group that can manage control systems. We don't sell control systems, but over the years, our customers really leaned on us because they were tired of the big JCIs and Johnson Controls not performing and giving them the runaround. They were like, please, y'all get into this. So we developed a controls group, and we do that. We, St. Acadia Parish, we retrofitted their control systems, moving them from the Siemens, JCIs, moving them from Siemens to our program. So why am I here? So what we like to start with is a pilot study. So it's really an assessment. So I'm asking the board to approve starting a pilot study with us. So what does that look like? First of all, it costs the board $0. It's free assessment. So the first step is to determine what schools to survey. So we go look at the schools, we develop an equipment list, take pictures of the equipment, we come back and report that to you as well. So we recommend usually 1 school in a district. You know, we can meet with folks later and decide which schools that are. Maybe the facilities director or Mr. Steve would probably have a good idea since he used to take care of all the schools. He would know what would be good ones to select. The next step is to meet with the CFO or the accounting department, someone in that group, and we establish a benchmark. So what we want to do is look at what have you been spending? We like to take an average of the last 2 years. So for these schools, you've been spending X amount of dollars. And then we look at what we can do that same amount of schools, what our price would be for our program. For example, in St. Landry Parish, we saved them $300,000 a year. Million Parish, we saved them right about the same, around $275,000. So, and it's really important because most of the time, boards don't know what they're spending. You know, it's a big bucket of money, and things break, and it goes out there. But we dig down, and we come back with a true report on what have you been spending. We call it owning and operating costs. So when we're done with this, you will know what your owning and operating cost is for those schools that we look at. And the last step after we put that all together is we'll come back here and we'll present that to you. So we'll show you the pictures, we'll show you the equipment, we'll show you what you're spending. It's a financial decision. If it makes sense, y'all can decide to enter into a pilot study, either all the schools or a portion of schools. And we like to do 1-year contracts, that way it's, it's not a long-term commitment. If you like the service, we can do more or we continue it, but it's worked really well. It's the same thing in St. Angela, Lafayette, and Dominion. It gives everyone kind of a taste of what it's like to have a service that we provide. No other company in Acadia or the South, South Louisiana, that really does what our program is. They come close, but not many of them include the equipment. There's a lot that goes into the procedures and processes in place to continually have that equipment cleaned. No one cleans like we do. So I put some pictures in here. You can see some before and after the pictures. And then eventually maybe I can meet with y'all and show you videos of what we do when we take equipment that is, most of the people say, hey, we got to change this equipment out. We go in there and we refurbish that equipment and we get another 10, 20 years out of it. We don't like to change equipment out unless we have to. And we will if we have to. But by refurbishing it and getting it clean, and you'll see in the pictures what I'm talking about. And if you look at some of these pictures I have in there, you'll see no one cleans like we clean because it's on us. Every time you call the contractor, probably your way y'all doing business now for repairs, how do y'all do that? Something major breaks, I'll call a contractor out. So when you call them, they're making money. When you call us, we're losing. We don't want it to. So it's kind of flip the script on, the whole industry is built around selling equipment, replacing equipment. We don't want you to replace it. We just want to maintain it. We're going to get 2 to 3 more life cycles out of that equipment. I think y'all recently just had to spend a bunch of funds on changing equipment out at one of the schools. What school was that? Raleigh. How much was that price tag?
We hadn't even bid it out yet.
Oh, yeah. Things like that, if that school was in our contract, you wouldn't have to spend that money. Questions? So again, I'm just asking you to approve this, to start this process. It's no cost to y'all. Go out and do the assessment, meet with the CFO, and at a later date, come back and present what we find.
I think we need to put it on the agenda to vote. Yeah, we have to put it on the agenda to be voted on, but we'll put it on the next agenda, which is our committee meeting. We'll be glad to put it on the agenda. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Y'all appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Star Services. Moving on to item 2.1, approve the minutes of the July 9th, 2024 regular session meeting and the minutes of the June 26th, 2024 special session.
No changes. I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the July 9th, 2024 regular session meeting,
Have a motion,
the June 26th special session.
motion by Mr. Higginbottom, second by Mr. Richard. Questions or comments from the audience? Questions or comments from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Item 2.2, consider and take action with respect to adopting a resolution ordering and calling special elections to be held in Church Point School District Number 6 of Acadia Parish, Louisiana. Iota Egan Allfield Consolidated School District Number 8 of Acadia Parish, Louisiana, and 5th Ward School District Number 7 of Acadia Parish, Louisiana, to authorize the renewal of special taxes therein. I have a motion by Mr. Richard, second by Mr. Higginbottom. Questions or comments from the audience? Questions or comments from the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I guess to Justin, yes. The reason we going so far ahead on this renewal is what now?
Basically, have village election, I think when you have to wait, it's probably bringing that. back up, because in 2026, we're gonna have 2 parish-wide renewals for taxes that are basically parish-wide run by what's coming up now. So basically, give a second bite of the apple.
Because I think the last renewal, we did it a year ahead, I believe.
This time we have those 2026 elections for the parish-wide consolidated.
Okay. That'll be in December. Okay, thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Item 2.3, conduct a public hearing on the 2024-2025 budget. Need a motion?
I make a motion.
I'm gonna have a motion to conduct a public hearing by Mr. Higginbottom.
Second.
Second by Mr. Jones. Questions or comments from the audience? Questions, comments from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Questions from the audience for the public hearing? Nope. Need a motion to exit the public hearing? I have a motion by Mr. Higginbottom, second by Mr. Quibido. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Moving on, item 2.4, adoption of the resolution for the operating budget of revenues and expenditures for the general, special, revenue, and other funds for the period beginning July 1, 2024, and ending June 30th, 2025. Any motion? Yes.
Try to do as brief as possible. Basically, you flip to the first page, you take the entire book. And then the next page is a letter from the superintendent to the board, basically acknowledging that the board and the staff have followed all legal requirements and the law in regards to budget adoption. And then the next page is a letter from the Budget and Finance Chair, Mr. Hickenbottom, to the board president, stating the same, that the Finance Committee is in alignment with all laws and procedures. And then the next 4 pages is the budget adoption resolution. This is what the board is actually going to adopt as the resolution. If y'all flip to the 5th page is the public notice. This is basically showing that the board has properly advertised on July 10th and July 17th in the official journal for all notices to the public. And then the following page is the consolidated statement for all funds. And then you get to your school activity funds. That's new. That's something that has been added in the past. The dollars that were at the school level were never included on the consolidated budget for the board. They are now. That is a requirement. That is a project R001. And then you get to your general fund table of contents. And this is really what I wanted to go over with the board. If you turn to at the bottom of the page, it'll say page 1. So you basically have 3 columns. Your 2022, 2023 actual 2 years ago, your 2023, 2024 projected numbers, which is what we're projecting to finish this past school year. Again, we don't actually close the books until the beginning of September, so we have a lot of entries left to make, a lot of year-end closeout entries. And then the column all the way to the right is the 2024, 2025 proposed budget. This is what the board's adopting. If you notice, it's broken down by the 3 revenue categories. It's the revenues from the state, which we were projecting $58,415,494, which is about $780,000 less than we collected last year. Most of that is from a decrease in MFP funding related to a decrease in student count. And then the second group of columns is the local revenue. For the general fund, we expecting to collect $25,102,959. That's actually a $209,000 increase from the previous year. That's a projection of sales tax revenue, around 1.5% increase is what we are projecting from the local side. Then the other funding sources, that is projected revenue of $6,586,050. That's actually a $1.6 million decrease from the previous year, directly related to indirect costs. If y'all recall, the last couple of years, I have been saying when ESSER funding ends, which it ends in September of 2024, we will take a drastic hit on general fund revenue from indirect cost revenue. So in total, the total projected revenue for the general fund for this fiscal year is $90,104,503, which is $2,161,737 less than what we collected last year. So on the page 2 starts the expenditures, goes all the way through. You'll see every line item for every single expenditure for the general fund, and it goes all the way to page 13. 13 is kind of the sum up. If you notice, last year we expended $91,230,009. We're expected to expend $90,785,265. So we were able to reduce expenditures right around $445,000. So the beginning budget that the board is planning to adopt tonight is going to show a deficit of $680,762 for this budget, which, note, we always want to start with a break-even budget, but to start with such a small deficit, in my opinion, after losing $2.2 million of revenue from the previous year, I'd say that we're in a fairly good position at this point. And that's pretty much covers the general fund, and all the other funds behind it are pretty much break-even funds from federal and state sources that are just break-even, that the board really has little control over. It's you take it in and you just expend it based on state and federal laws. I welcome any questions any of y'all may have.
Entertain a motion? I have a motion by Mr. Higginbottom,
Second.
second by Ms. James Adam. Questions or comments from the audience? Questions or comments from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Thank you, Justin. Great job to you.
Thank you all.
Your
Thank
department.
Thank you.
Item 2.5, adopt the final revision of the 2023-2024 budget.
That is this handout y'all have in front of y'all. Basically, I wanted to highlight a couple of items to make the board aware. So the column all the way to the left, that's the original board adopted budget that the board adopted August 8th of 2023, same time as we're looking at today, except for last year. The board adopted total revenue projections of $90,552,116. We're actually projecting to actually collect about $1.7 million more than that. Where does that come from? Those highlighted items. You'll see 5 highlighted items. Basically, we've collected about $700,000 from property taxes above what we expected to collect, which is a good thing. The property values in the parish have increased, which is in turn increased property tax collections. We've collected about $150,000 more in sales tax revenue and about $155,000 more in investment income. As the interest rates have continued to rise, our return on investment has continued to rise, so we've actually collected more than expected. And we've collected about $584,000 more in indirect costs than we expected last year. Basically, the reason why got to the end of the year trying to spend ESSER funding because it ends September 30th, so we were basically eating through the ESSER funding at the end of June of 2024. So that's why you see those collections. But remember, ESSER, one-time revenue, indirect cost, one-time revenue. So it's a good problem to collect 1.7 million more than you expected. Now on the expenditure side, if you scroll to the last page, the board's originally adopted expenditures were $91,317,873. We're only expected to expend $87,864 less than that. So the board, everything stayed on budget for the expenditure side. Everything was right on budget, you know, and in top, with a $91 million budget, we basically missed it by $88,000. So when you add it all up, we're looking to basically make a profit right of $1 million last year. One-time revenue from indirect costs. Again, we're losing 1.5 million just on indirect costs. It's basically a one-time thing. We're gonna make about $1 million last fiscal year. So I welcome any questions any of y'all may have.
Need a motion?
Yes, sir. I have a motion by Mr. Higginbotham, second by Mr. Quibido. Questions or comments from the audience? Questions or comments from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Thank you,
you.
Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
Appreciate you.
Happy birthday to Mr. Justin. He will be celebrating his birthday on Thursday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Item 2.6, consider substantial completion of ESSER 3 project E-010 Church Point High School Ag Classroom. I have a motion by Mr. Richard, second by Mr. Higginbotham. Questions or comments from the audience? Questions or comments from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Excuse me. Item 2.7, consider approval of change order number 1 for E-004 Martin Petitjean Elementary Multipurpose Building.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Jones,
I'll second.
second by Mrs. Atkinson. Any questions or comments from the audience? Questions or comments from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Item 2.8, receive update on LDOE initial release of 2023-2024 student LEAP scores.
You should have a packet at your seat. The first page you'll see is the summary of the overall district scores broken down by subject area of ELA, math and science, and social studies by each grade. And you can see over on the right, the positive growth or decline that we saw for this past school year. Now, one thing to remember with this data is not the cleaned up version of data. We are currently in the process. It opened in August. We're currently in the process of cleaning up our data. So this really is dirty data, so to speak. So it will give you some idea of the growth that we had as far as students achieving mastery and above and those basic and above. That's what the two columns are to all the way to the right. So you can see the plus and minus there. The following sheets behind that is each school's data and what that looks like as far as growth and decline. Overall, we're proud to say that as far as in Region 4, Acadia is still ranking 3rd in the percent of students that are scoring mastery and above. As we all know, we're moving into our second year of the 4-day work week and school week. And we recognize that we do have some challenges moving forward. In particular, the pacing of instruction, which we feel that we are ready to move forward with that challenge, and we're confident that our students and staff are going to meet those challenges now that we've had a full year. We recognize where we had some challenges and where we have some improvements to make. I'd also like to point out that we had a few Acadia Parish schools that were listed in the top 10 schools in our Acadiana region. In ELA overall, we had Evangeline Elementary ranked at number 2 and Egan Elementary ranked number 5. ELA with our economically disadvantaged students, we had 2 schools Morse Elementary was ranked number 7 in our region, and Esserwood Elementary was number 8. Math overall, we had 3 schools that were in the top 10. Egan Elementary was number 2, Evangeline Elementary ranked number 5, and Mermentau Elementary number 6. Math with our economically disadvantaged, Esserwood Elementary was number 2. And for our high schools with economically disadvantaged, Crowley High was ranked number 7. So we did have some rankings as far as within our region for improvements in the top 10. Do you have any questions in regards to the specific data?
Like you said, this is preliminary stuff.
It's preliminary.
And-
This does not, I mean, it has impact on the SPS. There's a lot of other factors. This does not account for the growth that our schools individually show as far as students that they're moving from unsatisfactory to approaching to basic to mastery, and mastery to advanced. So we're really hopeful that our growth performance, we will see some gains there for our individual schools. So this is just an overall picture of where our students were.
So about, you have any idea in the fall when we'll be
It will,
going over the
it
big meeting?
usually comes out late October, early November.
Okay.
So sometime early November, and as soon as we have that information, we will not hold that data back. We would prepare to do a presentation for the board and address our school performance data at that time, which would include our district performance data.
Yes.
Moving forward, as far as knowing our challenges, of course, we still have the domino effect from various positions shuffling up here at the district, but we will be moving forward with some strategic planning based on this data. I am currently working on a calendar where principals can book one-on-one appointments with me, where I'll go to the school, meet with each principal individually, talk about their individual data and what type of support they need directly from the district support office. So trying to customize what we can do to benefit each one of our campuses. Because as you can see, every school has some areas for improvement. Also, this data we have started using to start identifying our kids, our students that in K through 5 that will require high dosage tutoring, which is a new policy that came down from Bessie, and we have received an allocation for that tutoring to occur. That is based on students' LEAP data in grades 3 through 5, as well as in K through 5, their data, their performance that they do on literacy screeners, DIBELS, and math screeners that we use. And there are certain rules by LDOE. We did receive an allocation for that, and we will be sparsing out that money. One thing we will look at first is, the first part of that plan is that student in fact in a classroom with a highly certified teacher using high quality materials? If that is checked yes, then they don't have to do the individual tutoring sessions. The teachers will just implement the curriculum using the strategies and supports that are built into the curricula that they use. The other students would require individualized tutoring in a group up to 4, up to 10 hours for each one of those subject areas, 10 weeks, I mean, of tutoring if it's in ELA or in math. So we'll be working on those guidelines moving forward. Another thing that would help our students excel, especially those that need additional support, is there's an opportunity through the Department of Education called Steve Carter Tutoring, which will give parents $1,500 voucher that they could use for reading, math, and it's for K through 12. It would also even include ACT tutoring. So we're working on disseminating that information to our schools and making that accessible on our website so that parents can take advantage of the opportunity for the Steve Carter tutoring. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Towle.
Welcome.
Item 2.9, here update on opening of schools. Mr. Seymour asked for this to be on the agenda, and I appreciate you asking for this, but I think you're going to start it with the opening
Yes.
of schools first, and then we'll go to the bus company and then Mr. Lachele.
Of course, we opened school campuses yesterday to teachers. They have had 2 days of either time with professional development, either at the district level or on their school campuses. We had Friday, I think it was Friday or Thursday last week, we did new teacher orientation, met with a good group of teachers, met with them for approximately 3 hours, making them aware of all the things that we offer in Acadia as far as what supports are available, gave them some guidance on a presentation on classroom management. We had different departments available to talk about their departments so that they can familiarize the people in those departments, the names to the faces. So we've done those. During the summer, we volunteer basis, teachers came in and had professional development in the areas of math, science, social studies, ELA. So we are eager for our kids to report to school tomorrow. We will be out and about to greet and see all of our children return back on campus. Our schools have been working hard, getting ready and prepared for our students to return to campuses tomorrow. One change that we have communicated out that we're asking parents to assist us with is the change in the cell phone policy, which was brought down from a legislative act. We, at this time, are not requiring a total ban where they cannot bring them. We have communicated out with families that if they have a cell phone on them, they must be properly stowed and turned off and not out and visible during the instructional day. So we have communicated that out with our families and are looking forward to our parents helping support that. Any questions?
Just what you just said, what you mean by visible?
They shouldn't have it out during an instruction, like sitting out on their desk. It needs to be properly stowed in a book sack or on their person, turned off,
Okay,
not vibrating. It needs to be off.
okay.
I mean, we're trying to recognize that, you know, children have activities after school and parents need to know or be accessible to pick their children up. So we're trying to recognize that for safety purposes and needing to pick up children, that sometimes a cell phone may need to be with that child, but it needs to be off and out of the way.
Now, what is, I hate to say penalty, but what is the penalty
The same as we've been doing
if-
currently, there will be,
if a child uses the phone during recess or at the restroom?
They're not allowed.
What,
if they get caught with them, there will be discipline applied.
so
And usually each school has
they'll have
different
it on
tiers.
them, I guarantee you, they're
Oh, they'll have them on them.
gonna be using.
Yes, sir. We recognize that they will probably have them in a pocket. They just don't need to be on or being used.
One parent told me, said, at least I want to get a call every 30 minutes about what my kids need to do next.
Because even if they have a smart watch, if the phone is turned off, that watch cannot receive communication for them to be on their watches other than to use it as a watch.
Now, how many new principals we have this year?
Oh, goodness. Greg, new principals, we had
Four or five?
How many new
Four.
principals we have in the parish?
and high. It was Crystal.
Branch?
Ross in North Carolina.
Five.
Fine.
5 new principals.
Okay, I heard you say we have a new teacher orientation. Do we have a principals? Do we ever have a principals orientation? A new?
We had a principals meeting July
No,
24th.
a new principals.
A new principals, no, we're working
Just
on,
with
we're
them.
working on doing an administrative. We've had a lot of administrators change over the course of years, of the last course of couple of years now. So we're working on putting together on an administrators 101 for all of our administrators, just reviewing procedures and policies. And we will be asking those new administrators at the next meeting to come so that you can put a name to the face, because we recognize a lot of those new administrators y'all no longer know. So we'll have them come by at the next meeting.
And when will we have the number of non-certified teachers in the class? Really? Okay. All right.
All right, next,
Okay, I think we have.
the bus company.
Come on up, Mr. Russell and Mr. Brad.
Don't be scared, come on.
May want to be scared.
I'm scared today. So, started off with our kickoff meeting. We did a kickoff meeting last week for all the bus drivers and the coaches that need to have their 4-hour mandatory safety training. We do that every year. Keeps them from basically, if they have to miss a safety meeting during the year, they get all their training. We did that last week. They were off real well. All the buses were washed and cleaned. They were brought back, finally finished bringing them back to park outs today. That was a big undertaking because we had them all at the lot proudly. Because we had to install some equipment into them. So then we had to bring them all back. And that just took a lot longer than we thought it would have taken, but they're all back at park out ready to go in the morning. Updated camera systems and things like that weren't working, replaced them, radios and all that jazz. And we installed some new equipment. Drive cam, the Linux-based equipment software that helps with training the driver to basically drive safer than what they're already driving. You know, everybody gets complacent with their driving, you know. So you put your hand down, drive with one hand, or whatever. This corrects those actions. You know, you might glance this way, and you know, that'll correct that action. It actually tells you, you know, put your eyes on the road, that kind of thing. If you're not wearing your seatbelt, it tells you to fasten your seatbelt. So it's a correction device. It's not just any kind of disciplinary thing. It's basically to help them drive safer. It's key. Have a short video. But
Welcome to Lytics. Our company was founded more than 20 years ago with a vision to help protect drivers and improve the safety of our roads. Today, our DriveCam video telematics technology helps to protect more than 1 million drivers, just like you. We know driving is a risk you take every day. That's why your organization has teamed up with Lytics to back you up, improve safe driving performance, and get you recognition for your achievements on the road. This video is designed to help you understand how our program works and how it can help you with the work you do every day.
Having that camera in the truck, it just puts your mind at work, like trying to prevent accidents and other things out there that would happen. And it helps just in case something does happen. That camera would go off and help you.
It all starts with the Lytics DriveCam event recorder. This device is equipped with dual lenses, one facing the road ahead and another facing the inside of the vehicle. It also has numerous sensors that can detect potentially unsafe actions, such as collisions, hard braking, and sudden swerving. When these incidents happen, the event recorder captures a 12-second video clip of the event, usually 8 seconds before the event, plus 4 seconds after. When an event is triggered, the device also captures sound. This can deliver additional critical information and provide a clearer picture of what happened, especially during a collision or when dealing with an unruly passenger. These clips are available on a secured website for an authorized manager in your organization to follow up. You also have the option to press a button on the recorder to manually record an event. This can be helpful when you want to capture an event that you would like to share with your manager, such as third-party collisions or unsafe behavior by passengers, pedestrians, or other drivers. You can also press the manual record button in the event of a collision to potentially ensure the incident is captured.
Anytime that they have a motorist that's not paying attention on the road, even utilizing their cell phones while driving, the technicians do have the ability to trigger it in order to protect them from possibly, an accident that may occur, not at their fault.
The DriveCam event recorder has also been configured to continually record and store up to 100 hours of road-facing video. This additional footage can be especially helpful if you and your supervisor want to get a better understanding of an event beyond the 12-second video clip. It can also help protect you from false claims. Let's say your company gets a call claiming you were driving unsafely. Your manager can go back and pull the footage, proving you've done everything properly.
With the drive cam, it makes me feel a lot safer out there, and it just helps. It truly does help.
Your safety is the most important part of your business. The Lytics Driver Safety Program can help you improve your driving abilities, including your ability to avoid collisions on the road. Just as athletes use video analysis to level up their performance, drivers can also take advantage of our program's video coaching system to sharpen their driving skills. Here's how it works. When the event is triggered, it is uploaded to Lytics, where our team of professional reviewers analyze the video for potentially unsafe or good driving behaviors. Events meeting your organization's criteria for follow-up are then assigned to a coach. Only authorized managers and coaches may access video clips using our secure website. Your coach then schedules a time with you to review the clip together and go over strategies for improvement. If you're working remotely, the coaching session can also be done over the phone, using a tablet or smartphone to review the video clip instead of face-to-face. The goal for every coaching session is to provide meaningful, constructive feedback to help you improve your skills by making you become more aware of your driving habits. There are instances when you perform exceptionally well. Say when you left enough distance around your vehicle to successfully avoid a car suddenly veering into your lane or a sudden stop in the traffic ahead of you. In these instances, your safe actions can be recognized and even used as a model to help train other drivers.
At first when we had the cameras in the car, people at my business was not sure about, what is it for and everything. But we've seen the film. It's here to protect you and help you out and everything. And for me, it reinforces all my driving habits, all my good habits I have. Because it doesn't bother me, like they said in the film. I just do my due, and here I am. Because they tell me I'm a good driver, but that's what I do.
So we have road Lytics in myself last school year, with West Baton Rouge Parish being our first location that we installed this. And the reason why we chose West Baton Rouge Parish is in all of DS throughout the whole country, unfortunately, West Baton Rouge Parish drivers had the worst accident record. And when we installed these cameras, what Brad was saying earlier is it's real-time feedback to the driver. So there's actually like an LED light that shines red and audible feedback. So it'll tell you, please watch your following distance, because it's measuring the vehicle in front of you. So it's watch your following distance. It also knows the speed of the road you're traveling on and your speed. So maybe you didn't notice the speed limit change. If you're speeding, it'll say, please watch your speed. If you run a stop sign or roll a stop sign, it'll basically coach you real time in the cab. And we have seen a very significant decrease in accidents in West Baton Rouge Parish since we put this in. It is one of the, I guess, best affected, positively affected of the Lytics program in all of DS across the country. And with y'all insuring the buses this year, that's great news for you. I know Justin was happy to hear about it, and y'all new insurance carriers happy to hear about it. It's just one more thing that we're trying to do to help the drivers be safe. Everywhere that we've used it, so far it's worked out great for us.
I'll make Russell stop so you don't have to listen to too much of it. The second thing that we rolled out this year is Beacon Connect. This is a communication platform. One of the things that has always been kind of negative was communication. How do we communicate? How we decipher information out from the schools, from us? This Beacon Connect is to bring all of that together. The schools can message us. It will go to all of my staff, so it'll get a faster turnaround, hopefully. We can upload videos that are like 4 hours long instead of just little short clips where the principal has to watch several videos. It'll be uploaded in one place. I can communicate back and forth. My router can communicate, the dispatcher, my admin can all communicate back and forth to the individual schools or anyone who was selected for Beacon Connect, which would be, the superintendent and her staff, principals, assistant principals, disciplinarians, secretaries at most of the schools. So here's a little video about Beacon Connect.
Clear, accurate, and fast communication is crucial to every facet of our operation. Our customers agree that reliable communication is critical to schools, passengers, and their families. In order to help more people, we needed to build a better, faster, and more accurate communication platform. Beacon Connect provides a streamlined communication experience that lifts the burden of manual requests and lost emails to ensure that everyone can focus on what matters most. The first release of Beacon Connect delivered enhanced communication and information sharing with instant messaging between schools, operations, and drivers, instant customer access to videos, simplified incident reporting for drivers, and best-in-class people support enabled by AI. In the future, Beacon Connect will continue to grow with customer feedback.
So Beacon Connect is an in-house.
We're proud of the communication experience we've designed.
Beacon Connect is an in-house program being designed by people that work for Beacon that are a lot smarter than I am, apparently. And like Brad mentioned, was communication is always one of the biggest things that we get when we get a customer feedback, parent feedback. This thing, it's going to do so much, but what it's going to take is people forming new habits. So picking up the phone and asking Brad, I need the video for bus number 3, where we were doing it in the past. All they have to do is go into Beacon Connect, request the video. It'll go to Brad and his disciplinarians. They can upload the video. The principal will get a notification through email and or on their Beacon Connect platform that the video has been uploaded and they can view it. And the great thing about it is there's a lot of metrics and measurables here. So if a principal says, I asked for this video on Monday and I didn't get it till Thursday, right? This is all going to be measurable on the platform. Whereas if they call Brad on Monday and he doesn't get it till Thursday, who's going to prove that, right? This will prove it. It's all time stamped. So if they're complaining that it's taking too long, we'll have a measurable where we can coach and counsel our own staff on more expedient service. Go ahead and click it. So, like I said, this is all in-house. Current capabilities, bus video requests and transmissions, student behavior reporting and tracking. So if they want to do a conduct report, send it to the principal, send it to the disciplinarian. This can all be done on Beacon Connect. Another great thing, it's measurable, so we can pull a report, see exactly how many times Johnny has been written up, right? Schools have access to that. Customer and vendor messaging platform, he talked on that. But I want to talk a little bit more about the future capabilities. One of the things that y'all asked for, and I know Superintendent Richard had really been asking about lately, was turn-by-turn driver navigation. This is coming. All of these buses will have a tablet, and we'll be able to pump turn-by-turn navigation, so substitute drivers can have turn-by-turn navigation on the tablet. And let's say Mr. Jones and Ms. Atkinson are driving, and they're splitting Delo's route because he's absent. Maybe he's taking half of it, she's taking half of it. We can send half right to his tablet, and the other half right to her tablet. So they'll have turn-by-turn navigation right there. The days of reading a paper and trying to drive is going away. Another great thing that is coming, the parent app with passenger tracking. So when Johnny gets on the bus, mama gets a notification. Johnny got on at this time at this location. When he gets off at school, same thing. And again in the afternoon, Johnny's mom or grandma, whoever, will get notification that Johnny's off and on the bus. And also the parents will get a notification when the bus comes within a certain distance of the bus stop, like say a mile or two. So they know, oh, hurry up, put your shoes on, the bus is almost here. That's another thing that is currently in development. We're gonna beta test this at some of our locations this coming school year. And hopefully if everything goes on track, we schedule to unroll that in Acadia next school year. Push to talk digital two-way radio system. We have a pretty old analog system here. It's staticky, especially around the Iota area. This Beacon Connect is also gonna be upgrading our two-way radio to digital. And
Basically north around St. Landry Parish line.
Yeah.
And then south in the parish.
And the great thing about this is, again, this is all in-house. So we're constantly feeding them new ideas, and they're looking at ways to solve those ideas. One of the drivers here in Acadia Parish startup meeting said, could this thing tell me if Johnny rode the bus this morning but didn't get on the bus this afternoon? Could it tell me that? And so I posed that to our engineers, and they were like, that's a great feature. So they're looking at doing that. That way, instead of leaving the school, and then the school says, oh, you forgot Johnny, we'll be able to know that real time right there in CAT. That's something one of the drivers here asked. I pushed it up to the engineers. They said they liked it. They're gonna try to get that for us.
And this was something that we looked at, I looked at years and years ago when I was in Lafayette Parish, and it was so expensive that we just never did it. This is something that this company, that Beacon has developed and is pushing to roll all of this out. So y'all are basically getting that service for free with, you know, with the company. Because other parishes don't have this kind of stuff right now.
Okay. How are we looking on staff, drivers?
So all the routes are full, or staffed.
Yeah.
There is one tomorrow morning because there was an emergency this afternoon where the driver got in an accident, a very bad accident in front of Rain High. So that route will not be covered in the morning, but it will run the rest of the week. I'll have it covered by tomorrow afternoon. And everything else is set to run smoothly, hopefully, as smooth as possible.
Questions?
Yes. Brad, Russell, both of y'all, thank you for that. And all this new stuff is great. I mean, we can't ever argue with improvements or safety or whatever. But getting away from all the behind the scenes stuff, as an educator, and this room is full of educators, I've always stressed that it's not a job, it's a commitment. Have y'all done anything over the summer or whatever with these drivers to try to get them to the commitment level and not a job, instead of, I don't feel good, so I'm not driving, or you know, any little, I'm working on my house, I don't have time to drive. Is there anything that y'all have done to try to get, you know, we used to have drivers that would drive hurt and sick and everything else, and now we have so many absences that are calling in. Is there any way that we can stress those people?
I think if you look at the record from last year, I think the commitment of our drivers is there, and it will continue to be there this year.
And
so I don't know what you're talking about, absences from last year. That
well, it's been in the last several years.
It changed. It changed. So the number for last year, I think, was 28 routes that didn't run. In other words, morning or afternoon. Okay? And there was 3 or 4 that didn't run all day. And that's it.
Well, I know we had a bus parked in front of Howard Elementary for a while, at the beginning of the year.
I don't recall that last year.
I talked to you about it. But what about subs? Are we ready for subs?
Yes, so we have subs. Right now, all of them are on route. And it's not that the routes aren't filled. The drivers went out the last, like this week, So Monday we started, it was perfect. I had no subs, no nothing, okay? And now all of my subs are working because drivers either, sick or last minute, something happened. One of them, her husband's very ill, okay? Another one, he came down sick yesterday with like heat stroke because he's been working in the heat with us. So, and the doctor won't release him till next Wednesday. So it's just things that come up all of a sudden. Another one, she's pregnant and the doctor put on bed rest. So it's,
That's what the commitment he's talking about.
well, I mean, if a doctor puts you out, would.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, those
They're
things.
not picking the kids up in the morning or in the afternoon. The parents don't understand that.
I mean, to put it in perspective, the year before and the year before, we were averaging 21 routes not running a day. I mean, a month, which was still like a 98%.
It felt like a day.
Yeah. I tell me.
Yeah, some days.
So last year was extremely, extremely better. And I think a lot of it has to do with that 4-day work week.
That's what we were hoping.
You're still using that 5th day as an incentive? They get
Yes.
paid if they make the whole week or whatever?
Yes. And we also went up on their salaries. Their hourly rates went up. The starting rate was $17.65 or some $17.25, and now it's $18.75. And the maximum is 21 something. It might be just 21. But anyway, that went up considerably because it was, like I said, it was $17.25 to $18.75 and $19. It basically went up $1 on both ends, 5% more than 3%.
I think that camera system you have, the company I work for, we have one in every company vehicle. And it tells you if you're speeding, it'll say reduce speed. If you don't have your seatbelt on, it'll tell you to put your seatbelt on. It'll tell you harsh braking. It'll tell you several different things. So I think it's a great coaching tool for the drivers, and it's great for our students because the drivers can be safer. It's a reminder, is the way I see it. It's just a reminder to help you guys manage your drivers as well as just like companies like we have to manage our drivers as well.
So and one of the other things, like our CEO decided to make it a competition, and I'm pretty competitive. So at the startup meeting, let me go back. Whoever the best driver is out of the whole company gets a prize, which is a trip to our conference over the summer. This year is going to be in Boston, and this big trophy, like the Stanley Cup trophy,
Sure.
with their name on the side of it, and it comes on to their terminal for that year. And at the startup meeting, I made it very clear that I want that trophy here in Acadia Parish. So hopefully that'll happen.
But just with, and I appreciate y'all's jobs, I really do. It's just that on the 4-day week, if a route doesn't run, that child don't have to come to school. He's gonna be excused. So that puts him only 3 days at school. And that's why I push that so hard to have these routes run every day till we can get our children in that desk in front of a teacher.
Mr. Seymour has an excellent question about commitment. Of course, y'all know this is a part-time job, not a full-time job, so you get a certain pool of people. Back in the day when I was running this, it was pre-COVID. Nobody likes to hear the word COVID anymore. But I noticed, and y'all probably noticed, that when COVID hit, a lot of our drivers were considered to be high risk. They were older, they had, these ailments, and there was a mass exodus of some of those drivers all around the country, not just DS, I'm talking about everywhere. These veteran school bus drivers who get the flu every year from these kids, right? They knew they were going to get COVID from these kids. Mm-hmm. So they hung it up, and the complete different demographic started applying for bus drivers. Younger people. Sorry if there's any younger people in here, but some of these younger people are just not as committed as some of the more older veterans that we had currently on staff. Sure. We're starting to see a trend change. We're starting to get older people applying for bus drivers again. That, along with the fact that we significantly increased rates of wages this year, along with the attendance bonus. It's to the point now where they make enough money where if they miss the attendance bonus, they almost can't afford to miss it because it's a lot of money. We're not talking about $30 they're missing here.
And you're missing 2 days of
We're
work.
missing
instead of
2 days worth of pay per week. So it becomes kind of too expensive to miss a day. So the attendance bonus, increased wages, a change in driver demographics, retention bonus that we pay out to get people to come back, all these type of things. You know, you hate to say the cliche, right? To buy commitment, but we're trying our best to buy the commitment. The rest of it, their parents had to give it to them when they raised them. And if we could solve the absenteeism issue, it would be great. But it is a longstanding issue, not just here, but everywhere, right?
But Russell, that's exactly what I wanted to hear, all those things that you
Those are
just
the
said.
things that we're doing
That's
to
good.
encourage them to come to
Yes,
work
yes.
by discouraging them to leave,
Now,
to be absent.
He explains things better.
what is the pay for a sub?
It's the same as a driver.
Same rate.
Same as a driver?
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Plus substitutes also get mileage because they drive around the district.
Okay.
Thank y'all for being here tonight. Any more questions?
The contract, we delivered the contract to John Geis and Justin earlier this morning.
Okay.
There wasn't very many pain points for us because it was a lot of the old contract copied and pasted. There was some changes. So we had a few little things here and there, but based off of my experience with this contract, I don't see where there are very contentious points. So I don't think it'll be delayed too much further.
Thank you for what you do. Thank y'all for getting our kids to school safe. We appreciate y'all being here tonight.
There's some boxes in the back for you guys.
Appreciate that as well.
All right.
Thank y'all so much.
Thanks.
Mr. Lachele.
Good luck.
So we got a tremendous
Accessibility
amount.
shortcuts, 17 items, voice guide, off.
That you.
What you did, man?
They did, so I got that video.
What you did?
So we got a tremendous amount of construction projects done this summer. We still have a lot of construction left to do, but all of the projects that were completed, what we have left won't hamper school starting. So all schools are scheduled to open tomorrow. The biggest challenge we have right now is air conditioners, as you may know. We'll get a handle on it within the next 2 hours. We may have 5 or 6 air conditioners go out. So we have our guys working on it. We have 2 outside companies that we're contracting to help us. If we need more, we'll get more companies to come in and help us. At the moment before the meeting, we have 6 air conditioners out. 1 that's in a classroom, which we will swap out tomorrow morning because it's a window unit, or we will move the class to another location.
Most
But
of them are window units, or they're,
no, we have some gym air conditioners out. We have some office air conditioners. It just, you can get a handle on it 1 minute, and then the next minute you don't have a handle on it. So we get on them as fast as we can. We know it's hot. We know that the teachers want to teach in their classrooms. Principals don't want to start moving kids to different classrooms or the cafeteria or the library. So we're doing our best to stay on top of the air conditioners.
What about our Armstrong Gym? That was really sore the whole year. Did we ever get it fixed?
We changed out 2 of those gym ACs, and this week 2 of them were out again. We got an outside company to come in, and they got them all 3 working. That was the last update I had.
I guess that's the reason, air conditioning was the reason I put this on the agenda. And my question to you, I guess, how far ahead of school do y'all start going in schools or having employees, principals or whatever, go and turn everything on and make sure everything's working?
Well, you have custodians working in every classroom over the summer. They're stripping and waxing floors. As they see a unit's out, they're reported. You have people in and out of the gyms all summer. So it's not a set deal where we say go in throughout the summer and you have to check it, but they're being checked. But when the principals get back 2 weeks before school, normally those rooms are getting checked.
That's what I was gonna say, like, but July 15th, y'all have to notify me if there's any air conditioners out in your school. And it might help to
I
find that
visited a
out.
school yesterday. all the air conditioners were working. Before I left, one went out. Thermostat was blank. So we got somebody there, we reset the thermostat, we were good to go. We got lucky on that one. But if it's a part where we need and we don't have in stock, then we got to improvise. We have to either put another window unit in if it's a central unit, or try to find a part in another parish.
Yeah. Boy, now's a bad time to start without air conditioner. Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
We're talking about hundreds of air conditioners too, huh?
Hundreds.
Yeah. Any other questions? Mr. Lachele,
Appreciate it.
hey, you did a lot of work this summer. We had a lot of projects. We appreciate you, okay?
Thank you,
Really do. Okay, no routine items, consent items. 4.1, receive assignment of personnel, changes of personnel. You have that in the packet. Receive sales tax report. That's in your packet as well. It's looking like it went up a little bit, Justin.
No, went down a little bit.
For July, okay.
Shake back next month.
Oh, yeah, but everybody going to buy school supplies, they don't shake back up, but just.
And just before we adjourn, I'd like to thank our Bessie Board member for being here tonight. Thank you for coming to the meeting tonight. I'd also like to say congratulations to all our new staff throughout the parish. As we said before, we got at least 5 new principals. We have some new staff here in the office, changes of personnel. So congratulations to you guys. Hats off to you. We thank you for what you do on a routine basis, and get your work clothes on tomorrow, because here it comes. But thank y'all all. This time I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Bessie member, if somebody needs to come to, he has a family member that offered to contact him anytime we needed to
I have a
contact.
motion by Mrs. Atkinson, second by,
No, I was going to ask
Thibodeau?
Mr. Birkin if he could give us an update on that Gator Scholarship Program, Bill 33.
let's adjourn first. Means he's not on the agenda, and yes, he can do that. Let's do that. I have a second by Mr. Thibodeau to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Mr. Birkin, quick.
Thank you.
Quick.
I'll be brief. Talking about La Gator, we just had interviews with administrators through, there was about 5 or 6 administrators that applied to administer the new program, which will be starting in March or May of 25. And so we did pick one. They're under contract negotiations at this time. And so we can implement those when the time comes. I think it's March or May, I forget which month of next year that's going to begin. This is going to be in steps, right?
That is correct. So
How does that work?
it's based on a percentage of income or lack thereof, I guess, for those to be able to apply early on. And then it's supposed to kind of come in incrementally from there, based on what the legislature will approve money-wise for this program.
My question on this program as a whole, the original amount that's going to be granted to students is going to be roughly how much?
I've heard the number of 7,000 bandied about. I've also saw somewhere with 5,000. So that, again, is yet to be determined. It is kind of a fluid situation at this point, but all of that will come together spring of next year.
And how, now, from what I understand, a private school does not have to accept a student even though they have this. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is my understanding at this point, that private schools that do not have to participate. If you do, then there are certain criteria and testing alignments that you would have to adhere to.
Parts of it, they could receive vouchers and not have to be under the.
Not that I know of. I don't think that's the case. So if they participate in the program
then there is the accountability part that goes along with it.
What accountability? Testing like we do?
Yes, sir, yes.
Oh, wait, so,
Not the same test.
not the same
There,
test.
there's several tests that can be taken.
I was just curious, was there a study done on the impact of public schools by doing this?
So Arizona is the state that has been into this program the longest, and they've only have about 3% of the students participate.
That's all?
That's all. I have not heard that.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, because I can see schools around here not taking that. I mean, it is what it is, but some of them aren't going to accept that. So I was just curious on how y'all came to that decision and came
Well,
to it so
it
quick.
wasn't us, it was the legislature.
Yeah, but y'all had a lot to do with it.
We supported it, the best did support it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
because
y'all-
we think
yeah.
that parents should have the choice.
Right, yeah, because they wouldn't have done it without y'all approval, so we understand that, but.
Yeah. The other thing I did real quick, Superintendent Tall was talking about with regards to some of the things with the phone policy. There's also class discipline. I know that you received a letter from Superintendent Brunley last week, and I spoke to him on the way over here to talk about teachers have the ability to remove kids quicker in the classroom if they're disrupting. So they need, and also too, that the principal, if the teacher's requesting it, the principal has the must act in order to remove the kids who are being a discipline problem. So if there's discipline problems, then you can't teach. And so, and you talked about the $30 million that legislature approved. That also came as a request from us so that K through 5 will be able to receive the high dosage tutoring and that $30 million, which you talked about that you already have. Keep in mind, this school year, that third graders, if you are not reading proficiently at third grade, you cannot pass. There is no social passing anymore. So that's, so there's several tests that you can take along the way, along those lines, and Superintendent Tall knows all about that. But just to let you know, that has to, you won't be able to pass third grade. So keep in mind also too, the adage is they learn to read through third grade and read to learn fourth grade and on. Well, that's hence the reason why there is up to third grade, you need to be able to read. If not, the high dosage tutoring and everything kicks in.
Well, I will say this. The ELA program that we adopted 2 years ago, CKLA, part of why the teachers chose to go with that curriculum versus guidebooks was because it continues to teach the skills of reading all the way through 5th grade. So there's a little bit of a mind shift from what we used to use to what we're currently using for ELA, because it does continue to teach reading skills and builds on literacy and the precursor skills you need for reading all the way through 5th grade. So that was one improvement that we've made district-wide.
And then the last thing is the new accountability system that I know wasn't popular with our superintendents, but that was passed in a whole new system. This school year, you'll be able to judge both of them together. And then next school year, it'll just be the new system. Easier to understand, report card style thing. And our whole focus, which was voted on unanimously by Bessie, was to elevate outcomes.
Just to let those that are listening, NAUW is doing a backpack giveaway this Thursday, starting at 6 o'clock at the Martin Luther King Student Center, and it's available for all students. So there is a backpack giveaway at the Martin Luther King Center here in Crowley Thursday night.